It's loads of fun to film while you're skiing and snowboarding, so you can catch every moment, every face shot, every jump, every hit, every cliff, every yard sail. Today I'm gonna give you my complete review on the Insta360 after 1 year of skiing, riding, filming, and editing with this bad zucchini. So let's get into it. Storage. The Insta360 is compatible with your regular SD cards. It takes all the way up to a 256 gigabyte SD card. I can film 6 hours of 360 footage, and that's more than enough. Storage is no problem. As long as you have a big SD card, you're laughing, you're gonna be a happy camper. Waterproofness. The Insta360 is waterproof up to 10 meters. I've never taken it in 10 meters of water. I've mainly used it for skiing and snowboarding, but it's constantly getting soaked with snow, hail, sleet, whatever else, and it's never had a problem. Everything's been bone dry on the inside, so it's waterproof. It's waterproof. It's waterproof. Enough said. Video resolution. This thing can film in 360 at 5.7K. I typically film in 360 at 4K and 30 frames per second. That's my preferred setting. I don't need 5.7K. I upload to YouTube on 1080p anyways. The great thing with the Insta360 is you don't always have to film in 360. You can also film in 150 or wide angle, kind of like a traditional camera. You got more than enough resolution in 360. It's actually ridiculous. When I first filmed with this, I was filming with my buddy when I first got this, and I looked at my phone and I said, dude, that looks better than it does outside. You know, it really brings out every color, makes everything pop. So the resolution on this thing is fantastic. Battery life. I can't give you an exact number. I've skied from temperatures ranging from +10 to -25. Battery's never been an issue for me. For 50 bucks, you can pick up a secondary battery from Insta360. This bad guy pops open. I'm not gonna pop it open when I'm in the snow, and you can put a new battery in, have one in your pack so you can keep going. But battery life, absolutely no worries for your average skier and boarder. Editing in the 360 app. At first, I didn't really want to use this camera because I was pretty worried it was going to increase my workload a lot, and it already takes me a lot of time to edit videos and get everything together, so I was worried about that. But the Insta360 app is awesome. Let's head on over to my phone to check that out. So here we are in the Insta360 app. You can see I've got all my different videos here. Let's click on a skiing video. So we're gonna click on this. This is when the camera's on my head mount. When you're in the app, you can basically see everything. You can move around, see everything that's going on 360. You see these little dots at the bottom. These are actually the frames that I've set up. Move it anywhere I want in 360. If I want the frame to stay locked in a certain direction, I press this plus button and it'll lock the frame in that direction. You can also change the aspect ratio. So if you're gonna put it on YouTube or on a video, you can change the aspect ratio to 16:9, back to vertical for social media. You can also change it to other wild 1:1 for Instagram, things like that. Awesome, so it's super easy to deal with. My favorite feature of the Insta360 app is truly the deep track. I actually don't have any skiing videos on here right now, but I do have some cycling videos. So if someone's in the frame, what you can do is you can drag a subject, and then it'll start recording that subject. So if you move past or around the subject, it's gonna stay super stable on the subject. And that works amazing for skiing and also works really well if you're in a selfie stick. I really love the simplicity of the app and how easy it allows you to edit sweet videos to quickly post to social media or to put on your YouTube channel or make videos with. It's awesome. The app is a huge bonus of getting any Insta360 camera, but especially the ONE X2. Super powerful, super easy, and super fun to play around with. You can also use the Insta360 Studio, which you can download on your computer and connects to your video editing software. The only problem with that and the downside is it does take more time. There's a bit of a learning curve. It's much easier to reframe on the app than it is in the studio. Mounts and accessories. My favorite mounts are the head mount. I just run the head mount like this. I get most of my footage with just a regular helmet mount. Kind of gets all the area around me. Doesn't kind of intrude on my skiing experience. And then the second mount I use the most is the invisible selfie stick, and that's hands down the coolest. You can hold it in front of you. You can hold it behind you. The unicorn mount, the extended mount, they're all really cool. But for me, they're less practical. I ski really hard, and sometimes they wobble around, put you off balance. So I can still shred hard with the normal helmet mount and the invisible selfie stick. And those are the two mounts I use the most. If you want to learn more about the mounts, just check out the link to the video here. I run through all the mounts, what they look like, how goofy they are, and how they look on the hill. Let's talk about durability. The durability of the camera is great. I've dropped this thing down the hill. it's fallen. I've done a lot of dumb things with it, and the camera itself is fine. The little screen in the front has been fine, but the lenses are a tad fragile. On my second day ever with it, I dropped the entire selfie stick and it went barreling down an icy piste, and I got a tiny little scratch on the camera. I was pretty upset about it, but it actually did not affect the filming at all, so that was awesome. But what I would recommend is to get the screen covers that Insta360 sells and be extra careful. Be super vigilant too. Put your plastic cover on your Insta360, you know, when it's in your pocket or when you're not filming with it, and be extra careful. Let's talk about the audio. So the Insta360 has cameras all over to capture 360 audio. It does a pretty good job of doing that, and it's got wind reduction. So since it has so many microphones, when you're skiing, you can really hear the wind. So the wind reduction really does help. But when wind reduction is on, it's also kind of like voice reduction while you're skiing, because it's trying to recognize, you know, what should I be recording? The audio does the job for sure, but it's definitely not as strong as, you know, an external microphone. What do I like the most about the Insta360? Well, the first thing is you can capture literally everything. When you're skiing down the hill, you don't have to worry what angle your mount's on. You don't have to worry how you're holding your camera stick. You can reframe everything. Did your buddy fall behind you? Did you wipe out at front? Did you drop a cliff and your camera moved? Doesn't matter what happens on the hill, as long as this thing's recording and it's in somewhat of a reasonable position, it's gonna capture everything. The second thing I love about the Insta360, the nightstick. No, oh, geez. The invisible selfie stick. This thing is awesome. It's telescopic, so it fits right in my ski pocket here, and it's the best looking camera mount I've ever seen. When you're ripping around, you can't even see it. It's invisible. It looks like a drone is following you. If you hold your arm out too, man, you get that serious height, and you get some unimaginably cool shots. So the invisible selfie stick, one of my favorite parts about the Insta360. My third favorite thing about the Insta360 is editing in the app. I love the deep track feature, and that if you're doing a follow cam with someone and maybe you miss something, doesn't matter. You drag around them, it's gonna follow them, and it's gonna reframe everything for you and be buttery smooth. Or when you're filming with a selfie stick, you can just deep track yourself so it stays centered on you, and it makes everything super smooth, super buttery footage, and tracks everything perfectly without much effort in editing. The fourth thing I love about the Insta360 is the stabilization. It's kind of magic, guys. Like, the stabilization is ridiculous. It looks buttery smooth when you're coming down the hill. And I'm skiing a lot of bumpy stuff, and the camera's jostling around on my head, so it does a great job at locking onto the horizon and just making everything look super smooth and making it a much better viewing experience for yourself or your friends, your family, your social media, whoever's watching it. It looks way better when that footage is stabilized. What do I hate about the Insta360? The first one is the lens durability. I was super upset when I scratched the lens on my first trip out. I've had my GoPro Hero 7 for like 4 years, and that thing has never gotten scratched in the lens, and I throw it around like a baseball. So take care of your lenses. I'd love if it was more durable and you could just smash it up and it'd be fine. Not super durable lens, but the rest of the camera's durable, so just take care of it. It's gonna take care of you. The other thing I don't love about the Insta360 is the voice control feature and the button. I find the button's actually kind of hard to hit when it's on your helmet. You got to kind of find it on the front. It would be nice if it was like a bit more feel on the side or maybe on the top is better too, so you can get more force. Sometimes with a glove on, I found it hard to hit the button. And I also find the voice control to be finicky. So when you say, you know, turn on, turn off, it's finicky. You have to yell at it a couple times. So I don't like yelling when I'm on the mountain unless I'm hooting and hollering and pow. So I don't keep that on. And the third and final, and probably the one thing I would love to see Insta360 improve on in terms of the ONE X2 is the audio. The audio is disappointing for me. My favorite audio is still my GoPro Hero 7 Silver. I love the audio on that thing. Since it films 360 audio, it captures everything. So if there's a bit of wind somewhere or there's things going on, it kind of messes up the audio. And the audio, just for some reason, it does a good job, but it doesn't sound super crisp and super easy to listen to. If you're just skiing and riding and putting music to it, it doesn't even matter. But if you really want a lot of audio all the time, you're maybe gonna want a microphone or something, because it doesn't quite do it. In the end, it's a camera, it's not a microphone. My overall opinion on this thing, I'm not gonna lie to you guys, I love it, I love it, I love it, I love it, I love it. I definitely think the Insta360 is a buy, especially if you're a skier or a snowboarder. If you're looking to purchase the Insta360, I've got a link in the description, and if you use my link, you'll get a free invisible selfie stick, and that's the best part about the Insta360. I appreciate it. I get a small commission. I don't make much money from this YouTube thing, so it really, really helps me out, and I really appreciate you. I really appreciate you taking the time to watch this video, learn a bit more about the Insta360 so you can improve your filming on the snow in the wintertime. It was lots of fun. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you next time.